Have you ever wondered how long it takes to hike all the way from Anvil to Ebonheart? Thanks to the hard work of the folks at Project Tamriel and Tamriel Rebuilt, the amount of land to explore in the Elder Scrolls III Morrowind has increased several times over from how the game was when it first released in 2002. I've always been in awe of their work, but traveling to Cyrodiil or Skyrim has always felt a little bit disconnected, as you've always needed to take a boat to travel there from Morrowind. So, I decided to make a mod to fix this. It's this mod, Distant Landscapes of Tamriel. It adds in all of the rest of Tamriel outside of Morrowind. This mod was developed by myself, but I absolutely have to give a huge shout out to fellow modder Saint J, who was invaluable in figuring out BMP to raw file conversion, texture placement, and suggesting the use of ground cover generators to place trees and rocks. So, we started out in Anvil, and we are walking all of the way to Ebonheart, Old Ebonheart specifically, where I will get on a boat and travel back there. I'm resting during the night to kind of give a realistic idea of how many in-game days it would take a character to do. I think it ended up taking somewhere around 5 days, thereabouts. There's some special texture work going on as the elevation changes, so you can get some snowy areas, you can get some different trees going on. If you travel to the south or to the Alakir Desert, properly has sandy dunes and that sort of thing. The roads and coastline data is all taken from a publicly accessible grid map, which has been published by many map makers who have been engaged in the Elder Scrolls modding community for a very long time. So I'm very thankful for all of the work that they did. Of course, all the attributions are in the mod description. Since this is based on a grid map that's intended for other modders to use, it does fully link up to Project Tamriel and Tamriel Rebuilt. The coastline is approximately the same. The pathways should be the same. The real difference is just the elevation data, so occasionally you'll find places like you saw earlier on where it's just there's this huge drop-off, but it's still the exact same path. Getting this working was definitely a real pain in the ass in terms of figuring out how to use software like TES and Win, figuring out how the texture placement tools for that works, how the height maps work. This actually is version 3 of the mod. The very first version was released all the way back in February, and I've been trying to improve it since then. And I suspect I'll probably have another version sometime on from here. One of the things that's always drawn me to the Elder Scrolls is this sense that it's a world that I've truly stepped foot in, that I feel like I know how it feels to walk all the way from Seyda to Balmora. You know, that's an experience that you can't get in many other games, where it feels like I have truly walked all the way from one place to another, and I know what it would feel like to do that. And I feel like this mod allows you to experience that, not just for Morrowind, but for all of Tamriel. How does it really feel to walk through the Alakir Desert, for example? You can see now we've entered Morrowind. This is some of the Tamriel Rebuilt lands. This really is meant to be sort of my love letter to this game, and, you know, expanding upon this experience that I love so much and allowing you to just explore more of it and step between the lands that you've come to know and love. Well, and there you go. We finally reached Old Ebonheart. The final time counter was 1 hour, 53 minutes and 21 seconds from when we first left Anvil. And we'll hop on a boat at the end here and be right back where we started.